Assalamu alaikum. Peace to all the gods on the earth, word is born. I hope y'all been having high vibrations, high frequencies and everything, and hopefully y'all been making many spiritual advancements within y'all life. Hopefully y'all been praying to live, eating to live, and exercising to live, and living the best way that y'all possibly can. Right now I just want to bring this video to y'all and not only give my blessings and give y'all some insight upon things that's going on today. This video is about how to eat to live. I made some other videos about how to eat to live, which was very long ago. So I'm finna make an updated video and just tell y'all some stuff that I was currently reading, because I'm doing a fast right now, and I just want to give y'all some knowledge, some wisdom and divine understanding. Word is bond. But yeah, and really just get into this because I want to put as much information within this video as possible. I want to gonna be going. First thing I want to talk about is from pages 49 to page 51. So this is in book 2 of How to Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now I want to speak on some stuff about fasting and stuff. So what is fasting and what's considered a fast? Well, even before that, let's get to eating one meal a day. Eating one meal a day is, the time that we should eat after you over 16 years old. If you're 16 and over, you should stop eating 3 times a day, because your stomach cannot handle that. That's putting too much wear, and your stomach has no time to rest and actually digest the previous meal before it has to start digesting again. So that's why we should only eat 1 time a day. And the time that I eat per day, I try to eat. Sometimes I eat, at whatever times, at later times, but I never eat before 5 o'clock. But I always eat for about a period of 2 hours and stuff, 2 to 3 hours, somewhere in between there, but never more than 3 hours and stuff, as I said. But we should eat 1 meal a day because, as I said, your stomach needs to rest, your stomach needs to go, and digest the meal that you just ate 100%, and that's why you should eat 1 time a day. Because if you're eating in between meals and multiple meals, it's not going to give your stomach the proper time to rest and get through all the first meal, and also get through the poison because all the food that we eat has a certain amount of poison within it, and our body must filter out that poison or make it weak enough so that it cannot have enough strength to actually harm us and make us sick. So if you eat 1 meal a day, you're never going to be sick. That excludes, like, other ailments, like, if you get like serious stuff, that's some medical stuff, but you're never going to be getting coughing, sneezing, or whatever, unless you have a serious virus within you. But even if you get a serious virus, your body going to take care of itself, very good. But I ain't been sick in many years and all that, but y'all should eat 1 meal a day. And that is also not fasting, because a lot of people call it a fast, or like during the month of Ramadan or the entire month of December, which this is what I want to talk about. They say you should fast the entire month. Well, eating 1 meal a day is not a fast. That's why there's no such thing as a 1-day fast, because you have to at least go a day without eating, because fasting includes the day that you break your fast. So if I do not eat for a single day, and then the second day at 5 o'clock I break my fast, that would be a 2-day fast. Just as if I would not eat for 2 days, which is a fast I do it at the end of every month. But if you do not eat for 2 days, and on the 3rd day you don't eat, but then at 5 o'clock you break your fast, that would be a 3-day fast. So if you eat within that single day, it's impossible for it to be 1-day fast. So getting back to pages 49, let me make sure, 49 through 51. Yep, 49 through 51 in book 2 of Honorable Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live. I'm finna kind of break down some things within that, because we are in the month of December. I wasn't able to bring y'all the video telling y'all beforehand, but by next December you'll know what to do, or by the rest of this December. So it says that we should fast during the month of December because, or it's also known as Ramadan, but also because that's the month that they say that the Holy Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, which that doesn't make any sense, because of the fact that it took, I believe, 23 years. It was revealed to him over a period of multiple years the Holy Quran. So why should we fast within only a month, And that's not even fasting. That is, waiting until the daylight hours are over and until when the darkness comes, when it turns nighttime to start eating. That's just the regular way that we, as followers of Elijah Muhammad or followers of Islam, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he's dead. So he was nothing but a prophet. And we don't pray to prophets like we pray to Allah, because nobody is equal to Allah. They're just prophets. Once they're dead, they're dead. But we follow the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which came from Allah in person, the most honorable fraud Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever. But why? But during the entire month of December, we should not eat during the daylight hours, only after the sun has went down. And the reason for this being, which also is not a fast because you're eating within that day, but the reason we should do this during the entire month of December is because the Christians celebrate December 25th as their holiday, and they say that's when Jesus was born, which is very false. Jesus was not even born within the entire month of December. Nobody knows the birth of Jesus except Mary and Joseph, because they had to hide it, because if they did not, then they would have been killed and their son would have been killed. So nobody knows the exact birthday of Jesus except them too. And as theologians and historians, they say that he was most likely born within the first 2 weeks of September. So Jesus was not born in December 25th. That's a lie. December 25th is the birthday of the demon Nimrod, and that's why the Christians, that's why they celebrate that holiday, is because they're trying to deceive us and say, oh, it's because of Jesus. Jesus was not born during the winter in December 25th. That's a lie. That's the birthday of the demon Nimrod. So in order to not celebrate that, because one, Christmas is designed to drain you of all your money, spending all your money, going out, eating all these unhealthy foods, eating large amounts of it. Instead of that, we wait until it's no longer sunlight outside to start eating. In that way, that's why we should still not eat during the daylight hours in the entire month of December. Because just as I said previously, the Holy Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad with over periods of years. So that's why us as followers of Islam, or us as followers of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's why every single day it isn't a fast. We only eat one meal a day every single day. So this is nothing to us. We do this because just as the Holy Quran was revealed to him over a period of years, that's why we fast every single day. Or it's not a fast, but eat one meal a day every single day. So the during the month of December, nothing changes. And by the time we eat, which is already nighttime, so everything stays the same during the month of December. But we should make sure not to eat during the daylight hours, because other people only fast or eat one meal a day. They call it fasting, but it is not fasting. But others eat one meal a day or eat after the daylight hours, and it's the nighttime only during the month of December. We should be eating one meal a day each and every single day of the year, because it took years. It wasn't a month. It wasn't, the Holy Quran was not revealed to Prophet Muhammad within a month. It was revealed to him over time. But also, this is the best way that we should eat. And we should make extra sure not to slip up or do any of that during the month of December, because the month of December, December 25th, that's the birthday of Nimrod, a demon. That's why the Christians celebrate that, and they want to use a trickology, and they want to try to be, oh no, it's because of Jesus. No, it is not. And plus, Jesus is dead. Jesus is not God. Saying that anybody is up next to Allah is a lie. Allah is the greatest and most highest. Allahu Akbar. You feel me? Allah is the greatest and Allah is the most highest. Nobody is equal. Jesus was nothing but a prophet who died. He's not coming back. He's not going to be resurrected. None of that. But us, as the spiritually dead so-called Negro, we was resurrected by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And when the great Mahdi comes, he's gonna rid the devil from the earth. But back onto this, the Christmas in December. So that's the true meaning behind Christmas. It's to celebrate the demon Nimrod's birth, which is December 25th. Another thing, just to restate myself, Jesus was most likely born, or according to historians, he was most likely born during the first 2 weeks of September, which is nowhere near December 25th. December 25th was the birthday of a demon. And that's why during the entire month of December, we should make sure to stick on our lifelong routine of eating 1 meal a day. So eat 1 meal a day. Do not eat in between meals. Don't think, have a little snack here and there. Do not, because that's going to interrupt your body's, your body's, time of digesting, but also getting all that poison and making it weak. Because if you eat, you're going to just add more poison. It's going to have full strength again. That's why everybody gets sick. You will never get sick ever if you eat the correct food, stay away from the wrong ones, but also eat 1 meal a day, 1 time a day. And now let's get on to fasting. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, fasting, we should take a 2 to 3 day fast. And a two-day fast is cool, but if we want spiritual advancement, we should be taking a 3 day fast. That's why I take a 3 day fast at the end of every month. Because if we eat 1 meal a day, that only leaves enough poison in your body to leave you sick for 1 day out of the year. But when you fast at the end of a month, or take a 3 day fast every month, that means there will never, there won't be enough poison. Also, you can eat 1 meal every 2 days. You can also eat 1 meal every 3 days. But if you eat, or if you live like an active lifestyle, whatever, you should stick to eating 1 meal a day, and that's perfectly fine. Just remember to fast at the end of the month, or just fast whenever you feel like it. You can fast for spiritual advancement, which would be a 3 day fast, which means you do not eat for 2 days and you eat on 3 days, or fast however long you want to go without hurting your body. Fasting is a very great thing, but that's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, or Allah, has prescribed us fasting. And yeah, fasting is very good. It allows you, you're not since you're abstaining from food for a certain period of time, it leaves your mind clear. You feel light on your feet. You want to do very great things. And when you do a 3 day fast, it gives you spiritual advancement. So that's why I am doing one. I'm currently on one right now. This is the first day of the fast. I've been nothing but reading. I woke up, worked on my beat a little bit because I'm a producer, but I've been reading these books. It's the book I'm currently reading, and I'm rereading How to Eat to Live book 2. But anyways, it's going to be a very long video because I like to talk a lot, but I have a lot of information to give y'all. So now I've gone over I've briefly gone over fasting. I've briefly gone over eating 1 meal a day. Now let's go over the foods which we should not eat and the foods which are cool to eat. But really, it's really mainly about the foods we should stay away from and why. Okay. So let's go to fruits and hold on. Let's go to the most divinely prohibited flesh, which is the flesh of the swine, the pig. That under no circumstances we should eat that shit. That shit is poison. The reason we should not eat it is simply because it is so bad for us. One, pigs are the filthiest animal, and they go within they simple and plain, they're the filthiest animal. But also, their flesh is made up of massive worms called Trechtinella. And if you put under a microscope, you can see them little pork worms. They try to tell you that cooking it will kill the worms. The worms are still alive. The worms cannot be killed. And when you eat them, they embed themselves into your stomach. Then eventually they get into your bloodstream. And that's when they can make their way into your gray matter, your brain, your spinal fluid, and throughout your entire body, which is going to fuck with you. And also the reason why it's so bad to eat this, why it's divinely prohibited. Not only is it so bad to eat, it's divinely prohibited because there's a black man who was possessed one time by a demon. And Allah felt bad for him. And he was saying, Allah, please, help me, save me from this demon I'm possessed by. So he seen that since the black man was eating pork, the black man that was possessed, he said, well, since you were eating pork, to make sure that you stay healthy and you do not eat the pork and defile your body that way, because the pork, that takes away from your natural appearance, your beauty. It takes away from all sorts of things, your abundance of life. So what he did is he took the demon out of the man and then he put it into the pig so that the man would no longer make unhealthy decisions. And because the man knew how bad that demon was, the demon would, he was asking Allah, please, help me, free me from this demon. So he put the demon inside of the pig so he would stay away from it. That's why it's divinely prohibited. So not only is it so terribly bad for you, it's also because there's that demon inside of it to keep us from eating it. So that's why we should not eat the pig. Another thing I think it's prohibited from Allah to eat other than the pig is rotten meat. Rotten meat is just terrible for you. Don't eat no dry aged steaks, none of that shit. That any sort of rotten meat, do not eat that. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's divinely prohibited. But either way, you should stay away from and never eat no rotten meat. I don't care what's your excuse. Don't eat no rotten meat. All right, now let's get to the fruits and vegetables and what fruits and vegetables to stay away from. And most of these, all of these things, which I'm gonna tell you, are hard for your stomach to digest. All right, that's why we should stay away from them. So fruits are best eaten raw. When they're cooked, they're hard for your stomach to digest, and it takes away from all natural nutrients, and it just makes it unhealthy for you. You know, it takes all the nutrients, so there's no reason of eating it. Because the reason you eat fruit is to get natural sugars. Because when you have refined sugars, they're carcinogenic. They're not good for you. They take away from your immune system and stuff. And that's why fruits are best eaten raw. So stay away from your apple pies, your peach cobblers. You know, that ain't good for you. You feel me? So we should stay away from them. But fruit is best eaten raw. All fruits is good. And yeah, just make sure to eat your fruits raw. You know, most of the fruits, you know, you should not cook and all of that. And now going on to vegetables and stuff. Vegetables that we should stay away from. Most vegetables are good, but let's go within the ones that are bad. So any dark leafy greens, they're hard for your stomach to digest, and you should stay away from them. So that means kale. Do not eat kale. That's very hard for your stomach to digest. People try to say, "Oh, kale's good. Kale's good." No, it is not. It may have iron or whatever inside of it, but it's too hard for your stomach to digest. So it's like, you know, I may eat this one unhealthy thing because it has this in it, but it's doing more damage than it's doing good. So do not eat no kale, no turnip greens, no collard greens, no mustard greens, no any sort of dark leafy green. You feel me? So kale, collard greens, mustard greens, turnip leaves, and any sort of dark leafy greens y'all should stay away from and not eat. You know, you know. The only time we should be eating them is if there's nothing better to eat, and that goes for anything. You know, any of these foods that I'm about to tell you, you know, the only time we should eat them is if there's nothing better to eat, except, you know, pork. That's divinely prohibited. That's the worst thing that anybody could have ever turned to for food. But all these other foods, the only time you should eat them is when you have nothing better to eat. All right. So any dark leafy greens, stay away from. Also stay away from the Brussels sprouts, and they ain't good for you neither. Now, beans. Most beans are, you know, pretty good, but the beans we should stay away from is, you know, very big legumes or broad beans, butter beans. They call them many different things. Uh, Baby lima beans, regular lima beans, uh, white kidney beans, regular kidney beans, because those are very big beans. And really, the only beans that we should be eating is the navy bean. You can eat other beans, you know, it's cool, but the best bean is the navy bean. The navy bean, the small little navy bean, either the little white navy bean or the little pink navy bean. You can also eat the the great northern bean. It's not as good, but if you can't find the small navy beans, which are very cheap, and you know, you should, you know, eat the navy or the great northern bean. But yeah, you know, there's other beans like black beans and pencil beans. They're cool, but we should really only be eating the navy bean because it's the best one. All right, so that's for all the beans. And if y'all have any comments on that, tell me. You know, ask me. Be like, hey, you know, is this bean good? I'm gonna tell you. But what I have is the navy bean is the best. Is the best for you, the greatest. A small little white or pink navy bean. All right, now let's get to let's see other foods that's other fruits and vegetables that are good. So corn's in everything. Corn is not made for human consumption, and if humans did not replant it, corn would actually go extinct. Any other fruits or vegetables, they would keep going and going, but corn, that shit would disappear. It's not natural to this earth. The reason corn was created is to feed animals because their stomachs can digest that. It's good for them. That's why they started feeding it to black folks because they viewed us as animals during slavery and would give us that. So none of your cornbreads, none of that, corn chips, all of that stuff that is not good for us. Corn is in so many different things, and we should really stay away from corn. Corn is terrible for you. It's hard for your stomach to digest and creates all sorts of problems. That's another. We should stay away from corn unless there's nothing else better to eat. We should always stay away from corn. All right, so that. And if y'all have any fruits or vegetables y'all want to tell me about, ask me. You know, just comment them and be like, hey, is this good or not? I'm gonna tell you. Now let's get on to fried foods. Fried foods, not only, you know, everybody knows that they are high in fat, whatever. But another reason is frying foods, that method of cooking makes them hard for our stomachs to digest, like frying meats and stuff. You know, that makes it hard for our stomachs to digest. So if you any meats that are fried, frying meats makes that meat hard for our stomach to digest. Also, baking meats does do that, but baking is way much more better than frying. So we can eat baked meats, if you feel like it. You feel me? So baked meats aren't bad. Bacon's a little bit baking. It makes it's a little bit hard for us to digest, but it's okay if we bake. All right, and other things that's hard for your stomach to digest are, let me see. Also, freshly baked breads. Yes, that's what I want to talk about. So, freshly baked breads, we should not be eating them. They're very, because once we eat it, freshly baked breads, undercooked breads, are not fully cooked breads. So, your buttery biscuits, your cone bread, we should not be eating that. The best bread to eat is whole wheat bread. And anytime we have bread, we should, after it's baked, we still allow it to sit for a day or two, or we should slowly bake it until it's fully cooked through. Or if you just have any sort of bread that you want, or whatever, you can toast the bread to fully cook it, or put it in a toaster for a little bit, so it's, make sure it's fully cooked when you eat your bread. All right, so no freshly baked biscuits and all of that. That's bad for your stomach. It makes your stomach buckle and it rises again. That's why the bread, whenever you cook a bread, it's best to let it sour, because it does some of that digestion in it. But then make sure it's fully cooked. It's been either slowly cooked or allowed to sit for a few days. And then that's also another thing. Bread never goes bad. If your bread's stale, that's no, it is. Just bake it again and it won't be stale no more. Feel me? So let's go to let's see, what's the next thing I want to talk about? We talked about that. And if any questions about anything health related, food related, comment in this video. I'm gonna answer it to you. Now let's go to meats. Oh yeah, meats is the next thing. So the best meat to eat. No, let me go to the things we should stay away from. Or this is why. So red meats. Red meats, we can eat it and stuff. It's cool. It isn't bad. We can eat it if we want to. But, red meats, we should never eat undercooked meats. If you like your medium rare steaks, that's going to give you many problems. Red meat, like beef and stuff and cows, that is hard for your stomach to digest a little bit, but it's cool if we eat it. But never, don't eat no undercooked meats. Always make sure your meats are well done. That's the best for you. And also, if you're eating all types of red meats, it's gonna give you, cancers and stuff and all sorts of bad things. So try to stay away from undercooked meats and all that, and eating a whole bunch of that. Chickens are good. Chickens can be as dirty as pigs, but if they're raised right, they're cool, and the quality of the meat is better and stuff. So any sort of fowls are pretty good for us to eat. So chickens, ducks. The best for us to eat is baby pigeons who haven't flown out their nest yet, or they're called squabs. They're the best because they've only been fed from their mother. They've only eaten good things, and also that's the best. That's the best out of all the meats, because humans were not actually meant to eat meat, but there's meats that we can eat that are good for us, and also ones that are bad for us. We should not eat fish. Let's go to seafood. We should not eat fish that are over 50 pounds. I'm not sure why, but we should not be eating fish that's over 50 pounds of stuff. So try to stay away from tuna fish, because canned tuna fish and shit like that, most it's mixed up with a whole bunch of fishes, and they could have gotten it from something that's over 50 pounds. We should not eat. We should not be eating no eels. Any sort of bottom feeders, we should stay away from. So, or scavengers of the ocean or any sort of water. So we should not eat eels. We should not eat catfishes, because catfishes are bottom feeders. They're very dirty fish. So stay away from catfish. And any sort of shellfish, or as I said, sea bugs, scavengers of the sea. So that's shrimp, that's crabs, that's what's it called? Lobsters and stuff. That's crawdads. That's any sort of shellfish we should stay away from. They're very unclean fish to eat, because since they're all sea bugs and all that, so we should stay away from them. And if y'all have any, y'all want to ask me, oh, is this fish good? Is that fish? Tell me. But these are the basic rules. Stay away from scavengers of the sea, bottom feeders, eels, uh, catfishes, shellfishes, and then stay away from fishes that are over 50 pounds. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all for seafood and all that. And then for meats that are good, horse meat is very clean meat, but we should not eat horses because they're a domesticated animal and they help us. Deer meat is very clean meat, but we should also not eat them because they're a nice animal, and we should, if we have better stuff to eat, we should eat that. Rabbits are very clean meat, but we should not eat them because they're close relative to the house cat. And also going back to the pig. The pig was grafted from the rat, the cat, and the dog. That's just another thing I want to tell y'all. And the pig was not created for human consumption. It was actually created for white folks because since they're so sickly, they're created from the brown germ of the black people, which is the more sickly germ. But since they have so many diseases with them, scientists created the pig because let's say you have like a boil on your hand or a bump or whatever. If you put a piece of pork on your hand, this pork is made up of 99% germs and stuff. It has some of these germs in it that attracts other germs. So if you put it over, it draws all the germs to the surface and pulls them out of you. So that's why it was created. It was not even created to eat, but the white folks eat it because they were created to oppose everything that's good and righteous, and they're meant to oppose black people in the will or laws of Allah, because they submit to the will of their God, their father Yakub, which is the God of white folks. But anyways, back on what I was saying about uh meats and stuff, like goat, or I don't know if it's no, not goat, lamb. Lamb's a very clean meat. They eat very clean things. They're very selective of what they eat and things like that. That's pretty good for you to have. And yeah, if y'all have any questions about any sort of meats, just tell them to me. But any sort of fowls are pretty good. But if we can, we should go to a kosher butcher because they slaughter their animals in a very humane way. You know, because if an animal is slaughtered in a bad way, that's gonna somehow have an effect on you, spiritually or just in the quality of the meat. But any food that's kosher is also good for us followers of Islam because Orthodox Jews actually eat eat good stuff. So if it's good for them, it should be good for us. So if a product label is kosher, then it should be good for us also. You feel me? But and obviously if it's halal, that means it's the best. But yeah, go if you can try to find you a kosher butcher because they butcher all of their animals in a correct way, and they won't give you no bad meats or nothing like that. No rotten meats, no swine, obviously, because Orthodox Jews they follow, they eat correctly. Now, going on to other things and stuff, I've covered the meats. I've covered everything. Well, let's go back to navy bean. Navy bean is a very, very good bean, and we can survive off of eating whole wheat bread, which is what you should eat. That's not freshly baked or nothing like that, but eat some whole wheat bread that was cooked correctly, and eat navy beans. You could live off of that. You feel me? Those are very very good foods to eat, but stay away from fried foods. Obviously, do not under no circumstances eat the pig, and that's just what I wanted to tell y'all. This was a little quick video because I was reading How to Eat to Live book 2, and I wanted to tell y'all some things. So peace to all the guys and peace to all the earths where I just bond. Hopefully y'all been keeping y'all vibrations up, keep y'all frequencies up, drinking water, drinking ginger tea, and doing everything that's good for you. Peace to all the guys and the earths. Assalamu alaikum. Allah is the greatest and most highest. And peace.